Let's do it. Do something silly. And what will be the music? Do they have Transformers in Chill? Is that a thing? Transformers soundtracks, but chilled. Maybe this is right. Lo-fi version. Is it possible? Let's see. Oh yeah, let me turn these on. Hey Danny. See if this is working. Yeah, I don't like this music yet. Let's see here. Nah. Alright, we don't have enough time to mess around with this stuff. Was it loud? Oh yeah, it is. Hang on. It's been so long since I streamed. So this is gonna be a screwy stream. It's just a screwy stream. It's okay. This is like rip the band-aid off, no prep, just come back in. Hey Charity. I don't think I've streamed in like a month. And it's not because I'm not trying not to stream or not trying to stream. It's I need to revisit that old stream magic. Because you know what's funny is I felt more into what I was doing when I was streaming and like nothing else was working, like there's no social media traction. And then I started to get some likes on the art that I was doing, and I was like, okay, let me focus on that. And so it was like, I can get more art done if I'm doing less streaming. I can just work on the art. And then I'm putting it out there, but it's less rewarding. And I feel like, okay, what am I trying to do here? And I'm like, let's get back to it. So this is going to change. Like this shitty camera, I had to sacrifice one camera for another in order to make something else happen. And I'm like, that wasn't worth it. I got to get back the iPad camera, making my face look beautiful. It was just a good reason to like do what I was doing in a way that felt right, you know. Life is very much getting in the way, and like the uphill battle of like the holiday months it's like this crazy headwinds. It must something must be done. We're gonna do this is just gonna be a study stream where I'm just gonna look at images and make like a copy. And learn a little bit about what makes it good. Hey Ace. All right, hey people, thanks for joining. You know, it's like I could probably only go about an hour. Another curveball this week is it's early dismissal day at my kid's school every freaking day, which means I have even less time during the day without children around, so I'll be lucky if I get more than a sketch and a half in right now, but we gotta do it. Right now I'm looking for like cool Transformers references. And it doesn't have to be anything more than, like... You're on lunch right now? Yeah. I just put food in my belly. Don't need to do... Looking for something that could inspire. This is actually kind of a cool pose. It's like running pose. And a bad pose, or like a low poly reference or whatever, is even better because it brings more to the imagination. This looks dope. Robots with guns, stuff like that. Cool. It's what we need. I'm supposed to be on a job today, and the client is like straight up... I don't know if problems on their end, but it's like feels like I'm getting ghosted. It's really frustrating. Like I'm not supposed to be the guy that gets ghosted. Feels very... It's very disconcerting. So the best way to make something happen is to it's like, it's a bad analogy. It's not a bad analogy, but it's an imperfect analogy. But like, if you're worried, if you're worried about like one chick and like, does she like me or not? It's like, don't think about that. Just like find another girl and ask her out. Then automatically the other girl will start coming around. It's like there's just something around. So if I want my client to like get off their butt and tell me to get to work, you know, yeah, the jealousy game. You know, what you want won't want you back unless you want something else more and pay attention to it more, something like that, right? Yeah. So here, I gotta flirt with my fan art in order to make my clients wake up. It shouldn't be this way, but that is the way that life works. All right, here, let's move this reference here. You guys can see it. I can kind of see it. And the way we draw a study of a robot is the same way we draw a study of a person. You know, we need the line of action, and we're just gonna construct it from primitives to start. Major forms first. Get the angle and the orientation and stuff. All the same things. So our studies of robots can inform our studies of humans and vice versa. Max, was I the Casanova in college? I did not go to college, really. I was the Casanova in high school. But there was not a... I was not Casanova. No, but I had girlfriends and stuff. I was not a, like, I'll date lots of girls guy. I was like, I will have, like, a serious girlfriend for 6 months, and then a different serious girlfriend for 6 months, etc. Don't get too sidetracked with the details on these robots. Get this gesture in first. But I was definitely pretty handsome when I was a teenager. These days my wife jokes that I'm like coasting on my fading looks, and she's not wrong about that. But I had that smoldering quality when I was younger that teenage girls found irresistible. After high school, I had very poor luck getting girls because I wasn't in college, and I was working in jobs that didn't have girls, like, there. Like I worked at a computer repair shop and, like, a wedding video studio and stuff like that. It's just, there weren't girls around. It was, like, bunch of dudes with ex-wives, you know, complaining about shit and smoking, and like those were rough times for me. So I certainly wanted a girlfriend, but it's like, how the hell would I meet one? And there was like no context to make a good impression on anybody back then. So I had quite the downfall from my peak. It was humbling, but it was for the best. I certainly didn't need to stroke my ego more than it was. More than was warranted. Being cute isn't enough, and even then I didn't think it was. And that was part of the problem, is because I knew I, was good looking, but what else was the question, and I didn't even really have a very good social network. Most of my friends had moved away to go to college, and I was just here. You have not dated at all? Let's see, I literally dated 2 guys in high school, and one was my ex-husband. Yeah, like, I'm not a, like, date lots of people kind of thing. Like, if I like something, I'm like, then I like it, Then it's up to them. Like, if they go crazy, I gotta go. But if you're not being too crazy, let's make it work. I don't know if my brother is secretly lurking in the chat, but he meets all of his ladies, like, online and stuff like that. That's always been his like, MO. And that's never been something I've done. And so it's sort of like, he's 7 years younger than me, so it's a little bit of a generational split, but I think that's very common for younger kids now, is to meet people online. And whether or not that's better, I don't know, but, I met my wife in person, like, through friends, essentially. So this is coming along. And there's my bro. Ha ha ha. It's like, I don't monitor who's watching, so it's like, but I know bro does the modding it from time to time. Right, I'm not like we don't need to do the too much information type of stuff, but it's like, if I'm asking a girl on a date, now I'm happily married, of course, so this is all like way long ago, but even then, like, I wasn't just looking to hook up. This is like, yo, boyfriend, girlfriend kind of thing. Because that's what I needed, was like someone to like regulate. I need that motivation. I'm not motivated to like to be successful just unto myself. I'm like quite happy being like homeless and eating tacos. If it's just me, I need someone to hold me accountable to more. Except now I want revenge. Anyway, my brother remembers some of my old girlfriends, I think. Can vouch for my honesty. Not a playa. Not a playa. Oh, here's some funny business. Is let's see, I was married in 2012, and so I think it's like our 13th wedding anniversary is coming up in a couple of days. And like my wife and I right now, we're absolutely broke. Like we have no money, and we're like because previously like we do lavish dinners or whatever. You know, it's like life before kids it's like you're rich sometimes. Or it felt that way then. But we have like no money to do much. And we were like, well, what are we gonna do for like our anniversary? And I was like, well, thankfully it was her suggestion, but she was like, we could go to Universal, you know? And that's a funny thing because our first date was at Universal City Walk. That's how not a playa I was back in the day. Was like, I took her to Universal City Walk, and like we went to like Dave and Buster's and stuff, and like got like tapas, like flatbread appetizers and like that sort of stuff. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's like that was sort of like a standard that worked okay then, and there's no chance of that being the case now. But weirdly, things have come full circle. Optimus has this like blue block for his codpiece here. That's interesting. My theory, and I think this will be true, is that Transformers fans are... They're fans for life, and they're as into the old stuff, probably more so than the new stuff, which is definitely up my alley. And they're online, and even if they don't like something, they'll talk about how much they don't like it. So either way, if I make some decent Transformers fan art, and I'm a Transformers fan for sure, we weren't as inundated with the classic G1 Transformers. Optimus, like I watched this on TV and stuff like that, but it was on a television, I believe it was on Channel 13, which we didn't really get at our house very well. We didn't have cable, and we were near the mountains, so we didn't have like, if you didn't have like a nice antenna set up in our area, you just weren't getting good television. A lot of what we watched and why we watched it was just because we actually received the station clearly, right? Is anybody old enough to remember those times, the before times? Signals sucked. Like, radio stations and TV stations, like, you just, like, oh, yeah, I don't watch that. Oh, because you don't like it? It's like, no, I didn't even know that show existed. I don't receive it on my television. That's a static channel at my household. Yeah. Channel KCOP. In Chatsworth, that was like... It wasn't like it was bad. It may not have been KCOP. I don't know which one it would. Eventually it became like UPN. Wasn't it? Yeah. Well, I'm talking about like even before like all the daytime TV stuff. Yeah, but you're right. Yeah. Although I was a Judge Judy fan. But yeah, Montel was definitely on Channel 13. Montel ahead of the game with the medical marijuana stuff. It's coming together decently. Quick save. Hey, Jules. You're writing your thesis. Good. Good luck. What's your thesis on? The downfall of the United States. the decline of language and its impact on the decline of politics, or I don't know. It sounds it's got to be kind of doomery. Everyday life and political symbolism and cinematic and literary adaptations of Queen Elizabeth I's court. Oh, cool. I like that. Grew up with cable, so I was watching MTV. I heard MTV just shut down the box, but I was thinking the box was a public station. I don't know what the box was. It was a station that only played music videos, and you could call in to choose them like a music box. All right, Ace. Talk to you later. No, I don't. I'd never heard of the box. Our next door neighbors growing up, which is, it's interesting because the dad was a cop. But like they had like that black box cable, right? So it's like they had the free stolen cable, essentially. I guess being a cop just kind of like helped you to know a guy more than anything back in the day. Cops be yeah. He's a good dad. Oh, definitely and a good neighbor. But yeah, I found out later that he was involved in some of that Rampart stuff. I think Charity knows what I'm talking about. What do I know? The Rampart scandals were, essentially, that was what the TV show The Shield was based on. He got out of that, though, and then he became a helicopter pilot for LAPD. And I guess that was pretty good for him. He's on the right track. Yeah, the literally my kids got into one of the Christmas tubs, set up their little mini Christmas tree on the stair landing, and like set up all these blankets and like snuggled up in their own little Christmas snuggle pile and slept there last night, like under their little mini Christmas tree. So it's happening, yeah. It was cute as fuck. I've decided to forgive myself for the Final Fantasy cloud art that I posted. And it wasn't bad stuff. It really wasn't. It's just I'll admit to the sin of possibly being rushed on it. And then sort of underestimating the audience for the Final Fantasy stuff. It was... You know, it's like the Zelda audience is not the same as the Final Fantasy audience, is not the same as the Transformers audience, is not the same as... whatever, G.I. Joe or Power Ranger, whatever the other things I've been working on are. But, like, objectively, it was successful. It's just sort of like, I don't know why I had a different expectation of reception. But I did, from that, come up with a cool idea for something in the future. So that'll be something we'll work towards. But as I was saying at the top of the stream, I want to do more of the regular streaming and making that the not the drive. Even though like the streaming itself is like so super slow growing and all that, like that isn't actually what I think matters to me. Have the growth. Sorry, the I have to care about my audience, and if I'm doing it more visibly, I can have this sort of like organic collaborative sense about stuff too. It was starting to feel like a grind, and that's because I was kind of treating it that way. I'm gonna do that. And I think that was the sin of the cloud piece. It's not that anything about it was bad. I made some interesting creative choices with it. Nothing about that was bad. Reactions were mixed on certain platforms. None of that was bad. But my motivations on it felt rushed. They felt a little insincere. And I don't want that to be any kind of energy I'm putting onto this project. I want to get back to the idea that I can set a good example on how to study a subject, find ideas, and then develop them. I have the hand a little too low here, but we don't need to just rote copy things. We can learn from making the mistakes work. It's important too. There's an excitement that comes from the live streaming stuff. Doing it now, I can feel it activating more parts of my brain. So this is interesting. Definitely, this is looking a different size than that. Nothing in a bad way. But maybe something, small correction is in order. Growing social media or multi-year projects, I totally. I think that was like, I got a taste of something that felt like I'm getting traction. Quick, sprint. And I was sprinting, sprinting, and it was like, and it just got like farther and farther away, like a massage, like a mirage. And I was like, ah. It's like, what's that saying, right? It's if you need to travel fast, travel alone, and if you need to travel far, travel with friends. Something like that. It's also interesting, like, these studies are well received. Like, when I post them, I'm like, these are studies, you know? They're like, awesome! Because if you just mix them up into something that looks cool, these collages, it's nice to see. Nice to get that response. It's not... It isn't just perfection that people are looking for. There's a lot to learn in that. You've effectively stopped social media for a bit. I've noticed that, Brain. I'm not a guy that, like, doesn't look at social media, so if you don't do something, I won't notice it. I notice absences as well as presences. Part of me is wondering, is it the social part or is it the art part? It's like you're working on different things, so you're not coming up with the art that you would be posting. And there's ebbs and flows to this stuff, for me for sure too, but it can also be a huge distraction, and you do have to make these choices. Very good reasons. Okay. It's employment reasons. Okay. Okay. Good. I'm glad you're essentially found a productive vein that you can mine in the real world, and that's always a great... the right sacrifice, I say. This helps keep my mind busy and my skills sharp so that when work does come in, I'm ready for it, but as I said earlier, I was supposed to be working right now. I don't know what's going on with my client, and it's like there's only so much like poking and annoying you can do to a client before it like backfires. It's like I already sent out the all right, I'm ready to go anytime today, you know. And probably it's nothing. It's probably they're just... I mean, they told me information that makes sense. That today they have a scheduled, like... It's like a scout. It's like a survey of, like, a location that they can film at. So it's important for them to, like, know what they're walking into on the day of a shoot. They can make a plan about it. This is looking cool. It's like I know that if I can do... I remember lots of girls and non-binary kiddos secretly loved Prime and Megatron. Something about their evil voices, I'm sure. Sorry, I'm reading off the Discord. Oh, literally, we're... Oh, it's art-related. Oh, good. Okay, cool. Who's this? Band-Aid the Noob. Interesting. New person in chat. I think. I can't. You know, sometimes people change their names on stuff. And then, Charity, I see what you said about Cloud in Smash Brothers. I had someone comment on the... I put the video on the YouTube short, and like the process video. Someone commented that Final Fantasy VII is a trash game, and I'm sure it's just trolling. But I was like, is it trash? I don't think it's trash. It's certainly long. The music is absolutely goated. Character's very memorable. But I wonder, like, do I objectively love the game, or do I just love the idea of myself being, like, 14 years old, ignoring my homework, and playing PlayStation for, like, 8 hours straight? It's almost like a nostalgia factor more for me. I'm not sure if, like, objectively it did so much at the time that was so different and cool. But a lot of the story I kind of don't remember. And I watched one of those, like, the lore of Final Fantasy VII explained videos. And I'm like, man, this is... lots going on here. Also very, seems a little contrived. That part's looking good. Trying to catch up on the news. Uh-oh. Something happened in the news. Hello, new. I'm Dad. What? And so is Max? That's funny. I'm new. That's interesting. Alright, goofy stuff happening. Hi, new person. You're, more than welcome to join. I'm gonna stream about another 15 minutes. I said earlier, but this is like a quick stream before I get to pick up my kids for early dismissal. Oh god, what the hell happened in the news? Did something explode? And yeah, Brain, you're in India, yes? Yeah, the news... I remember, like, when I was a kid, the news was boring. Always, there's interesting news happening in India. My friends and neighbors, they're actually my next door neighbors. They're both from southern India. They met here in college. got married, etc. Make news boring again. Make politics boring again. Anyway, I think doing a cool Transformers piece is sort of right up my alley right now, because whether or not and I'm not really trying to do this intentionally, but a lot of the art that I've been doing, it's like people look very shiny and metallic, and I'm getting a lot of comments on that. Oh yeah, talking about the OJ and the North Hollywood shootout. Yeah, that was crazy. So I'm sort of strategically trying to think, like, if I draw things that have shiny metal in them, maybe I'll do a good job at that, as opposed to drawing people but they're shiny. I don't know. It's like no one's complaining. They're like, "Oh, I love it," but they'll get comments like, "Oh, everybody looks so brassy." And I'm like, "Brassy? Yeah, I guess they totally do." It's like they are super shiny. I'm like, is it because I'm sucking? I'm like, let's play with this a bit. Yeah, make it a theme. To own my weakness. But I'm like, people like shiny. I can draw a shiny robot. Like, it worked really well on that Samus piece that I did. Put a bunch of dents and scratches in them. Yeah, brassy sounds like a slur. Yeah. That brassy clanker. Man, that's funny. I mean, no slurs are not. That sounds like it's anti-AI. It's bigoted of you. Brassy ass clankers. Slopping it up. I don't That's looking cool. Yeah, not bad for a... It's a good warm-up, as they say. No idea what is going on with the rest of my day. No updates. Just pure silence. Let's add a little tone. Just a little quick shading. I don't learn a lot from the tone necessarily. Like adding tone, it doesn't, like, I don't feel like I pick up a lot that's like super relevant, but it what it allows is it opens the door to creating an effective gradient map over the piece, which is effective and sort of getting more oomph into the piece. Sextra, hey! We've got 8 minutes left on the timer, but I'm glad you were able to join. I haven't streamed in like a month. Last stream I did was the Midna stream. Yeah, the you don't have control over what you kind of want. So it has to be kind of has to be, there's a sweet spot where it works well, and if it doesn't work well, like it's bad. I've had good results, and I've had bad results. And the thing about bad results is you guys don't see them because I just don't post them. Six minutes left. A little more tone. When you do studies like this, I feel like it loads the information into my brain in a passive way. In a way that things feel malleable. As a result, my brain, even though, like, you know, yeah, I used a reference I copied, in a sense, but I did it in a way that required interpretation and critical thinking. And now, what'll happen is I'll go and do other things today, but my brain will still sort of be playing with the Rubik's Cube of these forms, you know? You guys know... Yeah, we're all gamers here. You know what it's like when you game real hard, like really hard, okay? And then you go to bed, right? And you close your eyes and the game is still going, right? You know what I'm talking about? The Tetris effect phenomena. Yeah, we're all familiar. But it's like, even beyond Tetris, it's like, it can be a lot of different stuff. You can just, if you're binging movies or comic books or whatever you're binging, your brain is going to be sort of processing that subconsciously afterwards. You don't think you've had that? Not gaming hard enough brain. No, well, how about this? Have you ever been on a roller coaster? And then, like, if you go to like an amusement park and you're on these roller coasters and you're like, whoa, that was crazy. Then later on, you've left the amusement park, you're going home, you're at home and you're like in your bed, and it still sort of feels like you're moving a little bit. A little bit of that like residual effect going on. I do not like it when that happens. Keeps me up. Yes, me too. Or just me repeating the same thoughts over and over. Yeah. The brain, whether or not you like it's extra, your brain found it like something it needed to adapt to. Motion of workouts, a really vivid dream where I can feel motion. Mm-hmm. I know elite athletes talk about this stuff where they're basically doing their gymnastics routine in their sleep, you know? They can't help it. It's that important. Decent tonal sketch happening here. Yeah, something about a sketch people can get excited about. You need good sleep to retain information. I think there's weird, different ways. There's different kinds of information. Sometimes I feel that what I'm doing artistically isn't the same thing as thinking. I know I talk about it a lot, like with the lizard brain stuff. A lot of this is like feeling, like running on instinct, kind of like how your body is, like in sports. Like in sports, you're like I'm not an athlete, but like, you know, they talk about how like major league fastball comes at you faster than your mind can. You have like a split second, right? Scientifically, to make a decision of as to what the batter is going to do, right? That's not enough time to think. That's not thinking. It's a very different kind of acting on instinct and training kind of stuff. And and there's my timer. We're gonna wrap it up, but there is something about art and drawing, and especially the way I sort of did this, where it was like, if I'm thinking about anything, it's more like I'm thinking about what I'm gonna say to you guys. And this is just sort of happening on its own due to training and just practicing it, right? It's interesting. It's like you can only really think about like one thing at a time, right? I don't really know, but swing that about a swing. Personally, I dislike leaving my art to my instincts and habits. Just oozing excellence. I'm not saying lead with the thinking, first and foremost. if you're teaching yourself stuff, then you have to think. But if you are practicing, like, get it into the muscle memory a little bit too. But I don't know, brain, you're goated. I've seen the way you draw. There's genius in those fingertips. All right, let's make a little thumb. This was a very fun. Thank you everybody for joining during a. It's not crisis mode for me. It's just I'm feeling lost with some things. Nothing serious, just like, you know, how do I make these fucking wrinkles go away? I've got to fix the lighting, and I've got to shave my grays, and then hopefully that'll make me look younger, and I'll feel more confident, and then everything else will flow. All right, that is going to be it. I really appreciate everybody coming, and until next time, adios.